Hello, YouTube.
What up, YouTube? Man, kind of doing like an unscheduled beat making video today. Working on something different. Haven't done any sample based stuff in a while, so I just wanted to mess with some samples, just make some more hip hop type stuff. A mixtape beat for up close and personal mixtape. Silver and Spill and me here and there, you know. But so yeah, I got this sample. I don't even know where, but I chopped it up. I don't know if it's been used before. I don't think so. Hopefully not. Even if it has, whatever. I still gotta put bass lines and all that stuff, but also have drums already ready for it. Kick, rim, actually hats. And like these hats, I play them unquantized just to give it that feel. But I usually keep the kicks and the snares. Well, I pretty much always keep the kicks and the snares quantized. Sometimes I may layer an unquantized clap over it or something like that. But this is just a kick and a snare and a hi-hat, what I'm showing you right now. And the hat kind of feels loose, which gives it a nice little feel. And I have a little percussion hit. And I have a tambourine. I think tambourines are, it's one of the things I like to do a lot is put tambourines over snares. Just gives it a nice little layer. And I have this shaker. Put it all together. So yeah, then from here, usually I don't like to sequence in FL, I just like to make loops because it's really quick and I love like the workflow, and just making drums in here and arranging samples is really nice. So I'm going to track this out. These samples, they were pretty clean, which is, it's always good to have a sample as clean as possible when you begin with, when you start with it, but this is a sample clean. It sounds good. It has a little bit of noise, so it's still a little bit of gritty. Has a little bit of grittiness to it, but I wanted to add more, so I used this vinyl plugin. I usually don't like to talk about plugins that I use, but I'll tell you guys about this one. It's made by Isotope. It's a great little plugin. It's free. It's called Isotope Vinyl. You just have to give me your email address and you can get it for free. It's really nice. I'm sure some of you may know about it, but some of you may not. So, as you can see, when it's activated and you have like the dust up and the amount, and the electrical noise, aware and mechanical, you set the year to whatever you want. You know, it's very intuitive, but it has a lot of features. It has its own little noise going throughout the whole track, unless it's bypassed, so even when you're not in playback mode, it's still playing. But it adds a little color to the sample, which is nice. Makes it skip a little bit. Makes it feel a little more gritty than with it off. Okay, so we're back again. Forgive the wardrobe change. It's been a few hours. I got caught up in some things, but I'm gonna pick up where we left off. I think I was talking about the vinyl plugin. So yeah, it's a free plugin, Isotope Vinyl. Makes the sample a little more gritty. So everything's all sequenced out. Actually, I have Silver's first verse on it already. I'm going to show you guys that after. Talk more about the beat. Yeah, so basically it's just about dynamics and just building throughout a track. So let me just play it how it is right now. I don't have any bass right now. It's kind of late at night. I have the master channel high pass, so just not shaking the walls and stuff. So, okay, one thing that wasn't in the FL loop is this reverse cymbal and this ride. I love reverse cymbals. I think they make great transitions. So yeah, that's one of my things. Okay, so first verse. You have part of one of the other samples. Just the end part delays a little bit. Then we're coming up to the second half of the verse. Did a little drop, another reverse cymbal, another section. Comes around again. And then we're going to do some drops, the last part, reverse cymbal to give every sample in. I added a bass line, a big crash, a ride just hitting every fourth, a shaker, which I have auto panning from left to right, gives us a move. Then a little breakdown. And second verse, no kick and snare, first 2 bars, and it comes back in. So that's the basic sequence of it. Let me break it down a little more. So as far as the samples, when the chorus comes in, I bring in all 4 of the chops. And some vocals in there. And then I have this yeah coming up, this little ad-lib thing. And then as far as stuff that I added, just drums and bass line. I'm probably going to add more, but I think the samples kind of lend themselves to not adding too much, actually. So yeah, as far as that, as far as the mixing techniques, high pass a lot. Anything without, or anything with low frequencies, like if you're gonna have a bass line over the samples, you know, you wanna high pass the samples. I high pass them at about 200, but it varies. You might want to start at like 120. But anything that doesn't have any low frequencies, you want to high pass it to ensure that those low frequencies, even ones you can't really hear, you know, some ghost ones that may be in the sample, you want those to be out. So yeah. Okay. So I'm going to show you how I typically set up and mix and record rap vocals. I'm going to show you how I do singing vocals in a later tutorial, but that will be the next one, I promise. Okay, so basically how I typically do vocals for rap, unless the particular rapper likes to do something else, I usually do one main lead. They can punch in whenever they want. A lot of people say punching in is not good. I think punching in is a great tool. If you mix it right and you record at the same level, it's going to be smooth, and the rapper knows how to come in with the same energy. It's going to be fine. It makes for a better vocal performance. So I usually do one lead vocal, 2 doubles. Not doubling the whole verse. I don't typically recommend that. Some people like to do it. I think it sounds a little immature sometimes to stack the whole verse. But do a left and right double of certain phrases, like every other line or whatever feels good. I typically do that. I set them back in the mix. I don't like them too loud. Yeah, a lot of people make their doubles really loud. I think it's about subtlety, just making it blend. So it's more felt than heard. Then usually, sometimes, if they want to do it, I do an ad-lib track. Usually run that through like a telephone filter and have that set back in the mix as well. And then I sometimes do some delay, automation, stuff like that. Effects, rather not talk about the specific plugins that I use, but I'll tell you that it's pretty simple. I use a compressor first in the chain, an EQ second, and a de-esser third. And then as sends, I have a little bit of reverb. It varies from song to song, and then sometimes delay. But as far as compression settings, everybody asks me about exact compression settings. You can't really, it varies from song to song, it varies from vocalist to, vocalist. But a good starting point is a 2-to-1 ratio, I think. The fastest attack time, like 0.5, something like that. Release, if your compressor has an auto, that would be ideal. Most compressors do, most VST ones. So set the release to auto. If not, maybe 150, 200. Threshold, maybe start at -20, -22. And yeah, and as far as makeup gain, you can set that to auto or just make it up however much sounds appropriate for the track. And then EQ, always high pass it like 100 starting point, maybe sometimes up to 115. Depends on if it's a male or female. Usually more for a female though. And to add a little brightness, like a little sheen, you might want to put a few decibels at like between 11 and 13,000, and if you want to take off some mid, some muddiness, you might want to subtract a few dBs from like the 300 range, 300 hertz. And then as far as de-essing, I don't like to overdo it, but the one I use is built into Cubase, and it has pretty much automatic function. I just have like the percentage of like 10 or 20%. As far as reverb and delay is concerned, when I first started, like I always used them as like inserts, but that's not good. And then you gotta put like those inserts on like every bus. It's not efficient. So I usually have one or two, usually just one each of a delay and a reverb. Sometimes I have another delay with like different timing settings, or another reverb like different room settings or whatever. But usually just one reverb and one delay. Usually for like a lead vocal, might start it at -30 and go all the way down to -20, sometimes even less as a send. Delay on this particular rap vocal, I don't have any delay on like the verses, but for hooks, I put a little bit, usually more than on the verses, and usually the hooks I make them a little wetter with the reverb. But that's pretty much it, just compression, EQ, de-essing, reverb, and a little bit of delay. You gotta record properly. You want to record fairly hot, but you never want to peak. I always have the pad on, the 20 decibel pad on my preamp. Most preamps have it. And then, I usually find myself recording between 32, like a +32 gain and a 42 gain, depending on how quiet or how loud they are. Usually that's about it. So we haven't done the chorus yet. It's probably gonna be a singing chorus. But I'm gonna give you a whole singing vocal mixing tutorial, I guess, next. Well, soon. So yeah, let me play this how it is right now. And that's pretty much it. This was just like a quick little video. I wasn't really planning it, but hopefully you guys enjoy it, and it will hold you over until my next big one or whatever. But there's going to be a few more mini videos coming up, I guess. So let me play this one more time.
What up, love? How's it going? Writing you this letter, wondering who you scoping. It's been a moment, forget that, it's been too long. Like the destination is to infinity and beyond. And that's a hell of a ride. See, cause I got the wheel, but no one has the side. And you can show up unexpected, you can crash the party, you don't even need an invitation. And what's the matter, Mr. Cupid? Money ain't right, the salary ain't cutting it. What up, love? You probably sick of something, you probably locked up for all the hearts you have broken. That was a joke, I hope you don't take it wrong. The pen is running out, this isn't very long. Love, nah, sincerely, S-I-L to the V-E-R. I'll be waiting on your reply.